And it is now recording and...
Awesome. That's funny. Yeah, the soundboard, that's cool.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
And if it gets really bad...
Yeah.
We could just put some crickets in there.
Okay.
Okay.
If I need a moment to think.
Yeah. If you just really suck at this.
Okay.
I'm kidding. You're not going to suck at this. Okay.
Well, this is first podcast, so.
Is it really?
Yeah, first time
fantastic.
I've ever been on.
All right, guys, welcome to Outpaceme podcast. We are excited to have Layton Garner in our midst, our YouTube phenom friend. Yeah. And so backstory on Layton, I have known him since he was knee-high, and he was actually born knee-high. So today he stands at 6'4", I think. That's
what it says on the license.
And you're how old?
15. No, 16.
16.
Keep
okay.
Forgetting.
Yeah, he drove here, which is good. I'm glad he's not 15.
Yeah.
But Layton has been lately trying to find himself and find identity through just videos and content.
Yeah.
And I noticed it right off the bat. And I want to say thanks for coming on today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Yeah. This is exciting.
Yeah, man. So our families have been friends forever, and love your mom and dad. I love your family. They're fantastic. It's interesting to see you go the route of content creation.
Yeah, it's interesting to me and to the whole family. They get surprised every time. Like, it's funny to me to look back and be like, at a certain age, I didn't care for media, and like I didn't care for, like, I like creating and I like coming up with stories and stuff. But whenever I was like in I'd say sixth grade, I didn't care for YouTube. I liked watching YouTube videos, but I never wanted to be a part of it until I learned what you can do and how you can make it different and that you can get paid.
So that was a key factor, right? Is figuring out these guys are getting major paychecks.
Yeah. We were watching a video. I'm pretty sure actually Kai was with us. We were
Kai's my son, by the way.
Yeah. We were at a Christmas party, or you guys were over, and we were just going through YouTube on the TV. Yeah. And there was this video where these guys spent the night in Target, like illegally or something. And I was watching this, I was like, what idiots? Why are they doing this? They're not even getting paid. Some views happen. Then we watch a couple other videos, and they're in a mansion and they're filming. I was like, wait, how did they get a mansion? Are they just super rich? And then I found out and started doing some research, and then I realized you can get paid doing YouTube. And so that's when I kind of started finding. I started researching. I started watching different channels, creators, and here we are now after doing extensive research.
You've put out quite a bit of content recently. So if we go back. It wasn't 2 years ago, you came to me and was like, hey, I really wanted to shoot some content or maybe help me with my business.
Yeah. Yes.
And I was like, I really don't know what to do here, because you were kind of learning the whole thing.
Yeah. Back then I knew nothing compared to now. Like,
right.
I'm still continuously learning. So back then I just like messed with iMovie and would just take clips, like old videos, and just combine them together. I didn't add effects. I didn't add sound effects. I didn't add music. I didn't even know the whole retention process. And so I just added some clips, and my family liked it because it's family videos. But if I put it on, maybe people would like it if it was on YouTube. I don't know. But see, that the thing is, now I'm learning to create and make good, decent stories and make videos that are good enough to be put on the platform.
I was talking to your dad a couple of weeks ago on text. And I'm like, dude, the content is actually really good. Mm-hmm. It's really good. And he's like, I know. I maybe he didn't say this, but in my brain, I'm thinking, man, how do I, as a dad, like facilitate that, like help you along in that? Because I would imagine a lot of kids, just like gaming, it's like a flash in the pan for a lot of people. Like it comes and goes pretty quick. Yeah,
I kind of went through like just a couple months. I would play tons and tons of Halo games, and I wouldn't say addicted, but I was so into it, and I was really enjoying the story and the cool graphics. Well, yeah, the graphics were pretty decent to me. To some people, Halo graphics are dated.
It's better than Minecraft. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, I kind of
still make fun of that.
Yeah, I kind of had a little bit of a liking towards Halo, and like just the armor. Originally, I was introduced to Halo from just like seeing pictures and posters, and then I kind of got into it. But what you were saying about my dad kind of helping me through this, it was something he said that stuck with me for a long time. Is whenever I started YouTube, I had to have the parentals watch it, and they had to review it, and lots of videos didn't make it past, like they didn't make it on YouTube because they weren't,
They're just parent approved, right?
Yeah, they have to be parent approved. But I shot a video and I really wanted to post it, and so I went to my dad and I was like, "Can I start posting, without the parent patent?" And I was like, 14? Yeah, I was 14 during this time, and my dad looked at me. He said, "You can, but every time you post a video, you have to think that anyone can see this.
Yeah,
anyone can see this, and you have to think if this is." If you're really proud of it, because that's kind of how, a lot of people work, including our family, you have to be proud of what you're doing and you have to make sure it's the best that you can possibly do.
Your parents are so smart, because that's the narrative that you need to have inside of a family. You need to speak into the existence of the standards. And I completely agree with them, because what you're doing right now, you don't recognize it, I'm sure, is that majority of people that are watching this are adults.
Okay.
And so their parents watching a teenager make good decisions, but also the parents are allowing you to have artistic freedom in this space.
Gotcha.
And it's scary for us, because we don't want to see you hurt, and we certainly don't want to see you pray to some weirdo out there.
Yeah.
And so kudos to them for feeling that out. Like, having a probationary period before you get into it is super smart. And then, so that was going to be one of my questions, actually. It's so cool you mentioned it, is, just the fact that, your parents have figured that out. So, okay. So we've gotten past the scariness of, I'm now exposed online.
Yeah.
It's now, I actually like this.
Right.
What about it right now do you just like emphatically, I'm like, I've got to think about my next video? What are you thinking about?
Man, whenever the videos that I have planned right now, we're going to shoot back to back this Friday and Saturday, 2 videos at the same time. And then there's going to be a ton of video shooting throughout the next couple weeks. And then getting into June, it's going to be just work the whole entire time. But what I enjoy about getting to film YouTube videos is whenever I get to take the SD card out of the camera and put it in my computer and see how good it came out. Like, I've got one of my friends, Kyle, is helping me record, and he has a really nice camera, and so he'll help me record. And so getting to see these good shots that he's been getting, and then getting to edit that and like find a unique style. That's what I'm working on right now, is something that is exclusive to Layton Studios. When people like see a certain text or a certain music type and they're like, "Oh, that's Layton,"
That's Layton Studios.
Right.
Who is your ideal audience?
That's a good question. Well, I never really thought about that.
That's good.
The thing
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. I make my channel appropriate for little kids.
Yeah.
But
you can check that box when you upload it.
Of course, yeah. And I make sure, kids can watch it and they're not just absorbing mindless content. I try to make it like it's healthy. Yeah. It's not like a bag of flaming hot Cheetos. It's something organic and something that makes them feel good whenever they're done watching. Because there are so many stupid YouTube channels out there, and I've seen they're like, it's just mindless, horrible stuff there's some YouTube channels that are almost like it's made for little kids, but almost every single thumbnail is almost like sexually targeted, if you know what I mean. Like, it's it looks like rated R content and like rated R titles and stuff like that. So I never ever want to get in that. I don't ever plan to, but I just want to make sure that, when kids see my videos, that they're inspired by the way, like, I'm trying to, not live, but kind of like the way I teach, the way I talk,
the wholesomeness.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. Something wholesome. 'Cause there are also YouTube channels like pranksters that go around and they make someone mad. That person starts cussing them out. He starts cussing out the person who's mad, and they're just all yelling at each other. And it's just, some kids are like, "Oh, I want to be just like him. He's so cool. He's so funny." It's not really funny. It's just people getting mad at each other.
That's so fun. Okay, so everybody that's listening to this right now, they probably aren't subscribing to you yet. Where can they find you?
Layton Studios on YouTube, and then it's pretty simple title. If you look up Layton, there's
Layton.
Yes, yeah. We could put it on text or whatever.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
editing. Editing's so much fun.
Maybe you can help me in that department.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. If you need help doing that, yeah.
So I do most of my edits.
Okay.
Which I'm going to be honest with you, that was a learning curve. I'm 46, and like I'm in full learning mode right now.
Okay.
So I use DaVinci 18 for all of my stuff. What do you use?
I use like Adobe for starter. Or no, Adobe for starters.
Okay. Okay.
Which is called Filmora 12, and it's like, it's like training wheels for an editor.
Well, even training wheels for Adobe is like extremely like learning intensive.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've heard it's a pretty difficult process.
Oh, man, it's it's a whole world I didn't know, and it makes you like. Here's the cool thing about you right now, and I'm not speaking this into existence for you, but my guess is that when you get into high school related courses or college related courses, you can target the things you like.
Right.
And this is a passion.
Exactly.
Is this your biggest passion?
Creating in general, just like getting to make something that people will enjoy. And that people like, I want to get into directing and filmmaking someday whenever I'm older. Dude, and I want to try and get into acting and all that, but that's later. But my passion is making something better for people, because top complaints right now about every single Marvel movie. No one likes Marvel anymore. No one likes Star Wars anymore. So I want to make something that people will enjoy. And, it will always be like, if it's a 3-part film series and someone wants to make a spinoff, I'd probably say no. I'd probably say no, just because I want to make content that is. I've just been recently watching Breaking Bad, and so I always joke about
Breaking Bad.
Just a little bit, just a little bit. We're very we skip through all those scenes that aren't so great, but I laugh whenever I say pure content, because I think about Walter White saying like only the purists. But I keep
drug related. Yeah.
Yes.
I've never seen that show, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. Original stuff.
Yes.
Like new innovative stuff.
Exactly.
You did one. So the other day, Kai and I are driving to Academy. We're picking up headlamps and fuel and some other stuff for camping, and here I see these gaggle of kids come out from scurrying beyond the shadows of between buildings.
Yep.
And it's you and 2 other friends holding cameras.
Yep.
And what were you doing?
We were attempting to make a dumpster diving video. Not actually like getting in the dumpsters, but just kind of looking around, seeing what we could find. And, we were asking everyone permission before going in.
Got it.
But that video did not go as planned, because, if you've seen the video, we're behind Film Alley, and we're next to the dumpster. We're not going in it. We're just sitting there, and we're doing an intro.
Sure.
And we already get in trouble. Some lady comes out and just she lost it at us. She was so mad. She was like, "What are you doing? This is a private property." And, I saw myself in this position. Kyle has the camera, and I'm like, okay, I have 2 things. I could argue, or I could show to some people. Sometimes it's best to not be a jerk and just be like, okay, I'm sorry, I can leave, As someone who owns like property and everything, like when someone's on your property, you don't freak out unless,
if they're showing action of aggression, right?
Yeah. You have to come down and just be like, hey, what are you doing? I'd prefer if you left. And so, but and if that person kind of like is a jerk and starts arguing why he's allowed on your property, which doesn't make sense, because he didn't ask permission or anything.
Yeah.
It's an unwholesome moment. And so whenever I'm put in the position where I'm accidentally trespassing and someone says, you need to leave, I say, okay, I'm sorry, I'll leave,
Yeah, that's good. And where did you come up with the idea of dumpster diving?
I saw, I think, something on Instagram. This girl was like going through dumpsters. She found all this like expensive clothes and stuff. I was like, oh, that could be cool to attempt and try. And, I'm just trying to throw out videos and just trying to come up with ideas. Like I'll just go on Instagram or YouTube and just see what I can find and see what could be an interesting video, what can be a concept. How can I take this idea or skill that someone has and maybe try and learn it, or, just try and make it
the skill of dumpster diving.
The skill of, that's not really a skill.
I know.
Just kind of looking
giving
around.
You heck. Well, there's been some cool videos that I have seen that, I'm going to be honest, the simplistic you staying at, you had this thing of, I've never done this before. I don't know. Was it like a goal? Like everything that you did was like, I've not done this before. I want to do it, or a challenge.
Yeah, something like that. So
what was the challenge? Was there a challenge? Like you stayed out all night one time in your backyard.
Yes, that was, surviving overnight with only 5 items.
Yes.
And seeing exactly like finding what I need, finding like exactly what would be perfect to spend the night in the woods.
Got it.
And that video was, I hated filming that
Did
because
you?
it got so cold that night. And
Oh no.
never use a hammock in the cold weather unless you have like a mat to put in between you, because you're just sitting there in that super hot sleeping bag that you decide to bring. It means nothing if you're in the hammock because you're just pushing all your weight in between like fabric, and so all the coldness is just reflecting on you. And I didn't bring any comfortable clothes because I only had 5 items, so I was sleeping in jeans that night, and so that was a mistake. But
well, if you ever do that in the future, let me know. I have these things called hammock quilts that go on the outside.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it's there's one out there right now if you go there. But they're perfect. I mean, I hiked the Appalachian Trail
that's awesome.
Used not all of it, but some of it, and used it every night. And we were down to, I think 39 one night.
Okay.
And it was brutal. But as soon as I put that quilt on, it was fine.
That's good.
It was like wearing a coat.
Okay.
It's super cool.
Excellent.
Okay, so let's talk about one of the biggest like successes to date is sitting right here on our desk.
Oh yeah. So I kind of this was an ongoing process. Getting this helmet started out with falling ill in 2021 in summer. It was just like a fever or something. Might have been COVID. I have no idea.
Okay.
But I was exhausted and I just had to sit in bed all day. And I came across a channel called Impact Props, and they made a series called Living with Chief with Master Chief from the video game Halo.
Yeah.
And it was like the concept of some college guys sharing a house with this easily short-tempered, giant green guy, basically. And so I would watch all these videos, and I was obsessed with how cool the armor was and the unique idea. And somewhere Brad, the main leader of Impact Props, he mentioned something about the suits being made out of foam, and that was really that's not made out of foam.
I was about to say
a resin helmet.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And so the costumes, the big suits of armor were made out of foam, and that got me thinking. Like that, there's a certain word, but I forgot it. That it kind of started a fire. Like I was like, okay, that's really interesting. Someone could make that. And so I just wanted to kind of try. So, I kept watching those videos. I became obsessed with the idea of getting to make something out of nothing. Mm-hmm. And my friend David, his mom, we threw her a surprise party one time at our house. And at parties, you order pizza and you got the big pizza boxes. And one day I'm super bored. And there are all these disgusting, gross, greasy pizza boxes. And what I do, I grab some hot glue, some scissors, and some box cutters and just start cutting it up. And I made a suit out of that. I bet if you, there are like grease stains on the inside of the suit that you'd find.
You're like bear bait, basically, running around.
Yeah, that's true. Well, luckily there are no bears here.
That's like your shirt, they reminded me of it.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I was super happy with the way the suit came out, and nowadays it's falling apart. But we decided
you still have it?
Yeah, it's still going strong. The helmet is on a shelf, and I don't want that thing getting messed up. But right now the suit, everything's falling apart, and so it's like it's trash at this point. But I'm still gonna hang on to it. But we took it to HEB, my friend Isaac and I, and so I taught him how to use this camera and everything. And so we're filming, and I go into HEB, and I had to buy one thing, and so I spent 50 cents on a pack of 2 things of ramen.
Nice.
And so we went in there and we were just kind of walking around and, not messing around. We were just me and Isaac were messing with each other. And this employee came and he's like, "What are you guys doing?" And I've never done like a interaction on YouTube before, like being in public.
Right.
I am homeschooled. So there are some things that like coming up with, like an excuse for being in a suit of Halo armor.
You've no experience in it. Yeah.
And so I just go, just hanging around. And he goes, "Oh, this isn't Chuck E. Cheese. This is the mall. You need to leave." And he was mad. And so I was really tempted to say, "Well, I'm shopping here."
Did you say all this stuff that I'm buying, this 50-cent piece?
Yeah, this 50 cents of ramen. But yeah, we left. And that was a pretty interesting video. And it kind of got us started. And like I just had Halo armor like overview. So I would set the suit down on the ground and kind of go over the progress being made. And eventually I kind of stopped doing that. I just kind of stopped messing with the armor.
So you were so back up. Mm-hmm. You got the idea of doing pizza boxes. You did one video with the completed product.
Yes.
And then you kind of modified it over time.
Yeah, and
and you did videos doing that?
not like videos doing it, but I would just be like, okay, so this is a new thing we have. This is how to weather your armor. This is how to like we got the new leg
See,
pieces.
that's genius. That's totally genius.
Well, back then, I mean, I was so proud of that video, and basically all I did, I'm holding a camera like this, and I got some paint, and I'm just kind of going over the armor and just add some music and like a couple texts, and I'm editing on an iPhone and everything, and I was so proud of the way that video turned out, and nowadays I look back at it and it's like, what was I thinking?
So how do we transition to this masterpiece?
Yeah, so throughout making videos, I decided to try and reach out to Brad Thompson, the guy who started Impact Props. Well, actually, no, he didn't start it. He kind of took over. But anyhow, I reached out to him on email, and I was getting into making another suit. And so I said, what are your recommendations? How can I do this? And I just kind of sent him an email. I did not expect for him to respond. But he responded, and he was like, hey, that's super cool that you're building this. Here are some tips. And we just kind of started chatting a while. And I was like, hey, I have a YouTube channel, and I'd like for you to check it out because I made a build video of another helmet I didn't bring, but it's a red one.
Yeah.
And I had a build video of that, and I sent it to him. I was like, oh, he's not going to care that much. Impact Props subscribed to your channel. This small channel with like 300 subscribers. He subscribed, and he commented. He's like, oh, this is so cool. And
so how many viewers does he have?
I think he collectively on his entire channel, it's like 300 million, but he has 1 million subscribers right now.
So Kai, my son, knew who he was.
Okay, that's awesome.
And so when he saw this, he was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, how did Layton get in touch with this guy?
Right.
So that's an interesting story. So where did this come in?
Oh, that was a bad voice crack. It's
okay. You have permission. I don't.
Okay. Well, so, throughout making more and more videos, I think we met on Discord, if you know what that is.
Yeah,
it's like an app
I know what Discord
communities,
is.
and I joined something called the 405th, which is the biggest prop building group of all time, where everyone builds Halo armor. And I'm there, and suddenly it says, Impact Prop sent you a friend request on Discord. And so we just started chatting, and he would show me like the suits he's working on that no one else has seen. I'm sure no one, I'm not sure exactly, but he sent me this as like, holy cow, you're showing this to me? And so, I think he saw something. He saw the fact that I'm making videos. He and I are very alike, and I think he kind of saw that because I liked making videos and I liked making armor. And so fast forward, and this will all come into play later when I kind of explain how this story worked. But I said if I hit 1,000 subscribers by 2023, I'll spend 50 hours in a suit of Halo armor. And
which is not easy.
No, not at all.
What month did you finally get to do that?
This was in January.
Okay, so thank goodness it was cooler.
Yeah, if summer I would have died.
Yeah.
But anyways, Brad and Ryan start watching the videos even more, and they start seeing that I'm setting out to do this. And once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I was like, okay, I think I want to make a different suit. So I start kind of working on it, and Brad texts me, and he says, hey, are you willing to get on a call with Ryan and I later? And so I'm like, sure, yeah, what's the idea? And I get on the call, and he says, we just blew up a suit of armor. I was like, okay. And he said, but we have another one that we're wanting to know if you want it. I was like, okay, sure. And he said, there's a catch. You have to spend 50 hours in it. And so we started making plans, and the day of when they arrived, it was Brad, Ryan, and then Ryan's wife Michelle, who's the camera lady, and then Classified, the guy in the chief armor. They all show up at my door, and there's something about your favorite YouTuber showing up to your house.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's insane. Like they show up, and you're like, I know you, but you've never met me. Well, we kind of knew each other because you've seen the videos.
This is weird, right?
Right. Yeah, this is exactly what. Well, he was a lot taller than I thought.
Was he really?
So that was funny.
Yeah, he didn't seem like that big of a guy.
Yeah, well, he was. I mean, he wasn't 6'4". His friend Ryan was a little taller than me in boots. Wow. So they were all fairly tall, which was surprising, which I thought was really funny. But anyway, we got into, we had to add padding to the helmet. If you can see in here, this is a resin cast. And so we had to put motorcycle padding and airsoft padding so the helmet sits comfortably.
Yeah, sure.
So we had to make sure that was set up.
I'll see it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is interesting. I'm with you. And here's what happens, and you may already know this, may not, I don't know, but I'm going to give you some insight of what it looks like to be me, someone that's never followed you before,
okay,
but knows you. Mm-hmm. So when you are a part of something that's bigger, I'm like, I know that dude,
right?
That's funny. Then I subscribe, and then I tell others to subscribe, And I think what makes it even better is like what you're hitting on earlier, your wholesomeness in addition to your original behavior, your narration.
Okay.
It's 100. Like when y'all see him, this is legitimately him. And I'm sure when you watch the videos and watch this, you'll see the similarities. There's no face put on. It's legitimately you. And
okay, that's good because I worry that sometimes it's not the case, but that's
no,
really
you
nice to
did.
hear.
Yeah, like I'm surprised how natural you are in this environment.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Like at your age, when I was that age, I would have been like picking my nose or something. I don't know. But okay, so you get the suit on. The guy's standing on your front porch. You get the suit on. What happened?
I get in the suit. We walk downstairs, because they helped me get the suit on upstairs. We walk downstairs, and suddenly Brad's like, okay, hop in the truck. They had planned this out with my parents. They had a schedule set up. And so my mom and my dad were in on it and everything. And I was like, okay, where are we going? I thought they were just going to take me to lunch for like an awkward,
put me in the public eye.
Yeah. But instead, we drove to a place called iFly, which is indoor skydiving.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I had no idea that they had this planned because we show up and I look and it's like, what the heck? This is way bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
You guys really planned this out. And so we go in and they didn't let us fly the first day. And so, they tried to get me in a suit that was made to fit Shaquille O'Neal and I couldn't fit in it. The suit that I was in was like bigger than him. I'm not sure if it was as tall or anything, but yeah, I couldn't fit in the suit.
Interesting.
So, yeah, that was definitely, it's kind of a cool flex to say, yeah, me in Halo armor can't fit in a suit made for Shaquille O'Neal.
That's right. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's the exact suit that he flew in, but it could have been somewhere else. I have no idea.
Got it.
But
got it.
Yeah, they took me there, and then we went to a go-karting track to see if we could do that, and we did. And they made a bet, and it was like, okay, if you can beat the Master Chief, which is their character, their big guy in armor, then we'll buy you pizza. If not, you have to make dinner for us all. And so I went on the go-kart. Those things were so slow.
I'm telling you.
They were so slow.
They govern those things, I know.
Yeah. And then, of course, I'm in this bulky suit of armor. My huge feet, these boots had to be like this wide. And I can't see if my foot's on the pedal or the gas, and I can't really move because this boot is about 10 pounds of weight.
Seriously?
And no, that might be a little over the top. No, wait, I'll have to measure.
They're heavier, right?
Yeah, they could be around
you have no sensitivity.
Yeah.
You're just in a exoskeleton.
Exactly. And I'm just kind of hoping that my foot's where it should be. And apparently it was pretty slow to everyone else. So I think I just got the slower go-kart.
Got it.
But, I got to, show off my cooking skills to these YouTubers.
Nobody got sick?
Nobody got sick, surprisingly.
Good.
In fact, they all said it was really good. So I'm hoping that, I think it was just the use of ingredients, my selective choice of ingredients, because I just threw a burger on a pan and added salt and pepper. So either they're really nice
hey, it's raw meat. I mean,
yeah,
we have to trust you in that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so what did you learn in that video? So you're like novice camera guy, and then these professionals show up.
Yeah.
What did you learn with them?
It was, man, I'm at a loss of words how crazy it was, because people say everyone fakes YouTube content. This wasn't fake. Everything was 100%. We had a couple lines that, if Brad liked it, me and my mom do this thing now where if we say something funny, we'll say, could you say that again? Like one more time, grab the camera, because that's what would happen. Like me and my mom will just make a joke and he's like, oh, we got to do that one more time. And so they said that they weren't prepared for us to be this funny.
As comical as you were as a family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they were
Your mom is witty. Like she totally can throw it out.
Yeah, she's quick to the punchline.
Yeah.
And so they were constantly, oh, could you say that again? And so I wouldn't say it's fake, but it was a little bit like, okay, we got to plan this out. And, but what was cool is that Brad said in the car, he goes, I would argue that you're more natural on camera than I am. Which is really cool.
See, I'm a professional at this. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's good, man. I see it too. Like, I know that if you stick with this, it will go far. I just got off of a mastermind video with like some of the top agents in the nation.
Right.
Okay. And, I don't expect you to know anything about this, but I
don't think I do.
So a mastermind is really just a gathering of people that are really good at what they do.
Okay.
And then we try to figure out the little intricate detail differences that I don't know in my business. Maybe they have an answer.
Okay.
So it's like if you and the other manufacturers of these helmets all got in the room and you're like, well, this is what I did. Instead of hot glue, we epoxied.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the craziest thing, how they make these things. Like, I've seen Brad's videos. He starts 3D printing, 3D prints a helmet, puts it all together, smooths it out, primes it, smooths it, sands it, the whole process.
So this is 3D printed?
This is a 3D print model.
Got it. So it's a cast that he made. Yeah.
Yes. And so, I'm like, oh, that's super cool that, they 3D printed this. And then he throws a bunch of silicone on it, rubber silicone, and then, makes the mold. And does that fit?
This is fantastic.
Nice.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah,
this is surprisingly good. It fits
it's some
well,
quality
too.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll buy this from you. I'm just kidding. Totally kidding.
It's not for sale.
Dang it.
Yeah, that's it's
surprising,
a trophy.
like how good that is.
Yeah. This was made. Brad didn't make this one. He's made some really cool helmets, but he didn't make this one. So one of his other prop maker friends, I'm not sure his name exactly, he made this one, but it's the same process. You throw rubber silicone over it, you make a mold, then you put like epoxy clay over it, which is a hard shell. And then you take all that off, you take the model out, and then you pour silicone, and boom, you have a helmet. And then you Dremel all the visor stuff out and paint it and add a visor, and it's what we have here. So,
very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other day we saw you, and you released your video within like 12 hours.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't sleep that night or something. How did you get that done so quickly?
I woke up and just started editing for like 3 hours and got it out there as quick as I could.
Kai and I went and camped, and by the time we got signal again, it had already been uploaded.
Oh my gosh.
We watched it on the drive home, actually.
Okay, that's so
cool.
funny.
It's so good. That is crazy. So you're getting good at editing. You're getting good at photo or just videography. What's something that you're learning right now?
Something that I'm learning is, that's a good question. It's a lot of stuff. Making good intros is something I'm trying to do right now, because if you've seen Mr. Beast, he has a type. Today we are doing this with this, and that. Cut, text effects, explosions, and that's his style, and I'm not against it.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, that would be funny. we should definitely do that.
Explosions.
But, yeah, lots of explosions. And,
I'm on fire.
Yeah, that's his style, and I love it. I love that he did that.
Yeah, it's original to him.
Everyone copied it. And so YouTube it's at a stale point right now where the creative creators are trying to kind of stray away from that, try and kind of make a better intro that isn't so Mr. Beast, because it's no one. I mean, you can copy Mr. Beast if you want to, but that kind of destroys the originality. So that's something I'm learning right now, and just trying to make my content like not to where it's so fast everyone wants to keep up with it, but the retention is good. So people are invested in the story and invested in the goals and what I'm trying to do, and invested in the person that I am. I'm trying to be as authentic as I can possibly be. So people, they don't care about seeing the cool goal at the end. They care more about me being able to complete the goal.
There's your audience right there.
Yeah.
The people that want to befriend you.
Exactly. I made a lot of friends, or kind of strengthened my friendships between making YouTube videos, which is super cool.
Okay.
The shirt that I'm wearing is a place called Camp Blue Haven, which is a Christian camp up in New Mexico, the mountains of New Mexico.
Okay.
And so I spent 2 weeks up there, and I strengthened my friendship with just a guy from church that I just saw every once in a while. And he's in the videos now, Alex. It's funny because he's the only one with red hair. So if people meet him, he's like, yeah, I'm the red hair one. But
awesome.
So anyways, I strengthened my friendship with him.
Yeah.
And he's one of my closest friends now. And then, of course, my friend, there's... like if you watch the camp video, there are all these people that like just saw the camera and decided to be super funny, and they're in general really funny, but they were really, really funny on camera. And Alex and I will watch the video back and we'll laugh. Like my friend Scott, who he just made a couple appearances in the video, but he's he's a great supporter. Like
right.
Every single comment that he leaves on my channel, I get excited to see that, because I'm glad that he still like enjoys watching it, and he'll text me and he'll be like, you're doing such a good job. And other friends that that got to watch the video, that got to make the video with me. So getting to, it's kind of like, I'm not a huge fan of Instagram, but what I like about Instagram is if I meet someone and, I've only known them for quite a while, I'll ask them for their Instagram so I can kind of learn a little bit about them, see what they're interested in.
Right.
And so that's what YouTube's kind of been for me. People have kind of gotten to know me from my videos that I'm making. And of course, I like to talk to people, but if I can't get a hold of them at the moment, and they get to see the videos, they kind of learn something about me.
So for everybody that's watching this, do me a huge favor. Go ahead and go to Layton Studios and then subscribe and then comment. And everybody that hashtags Outpaceme, I'm going to give this guy a special gift. Okay?
Whoa.
So if I can get 15 people to hashtag Outpaceme, then you get a special gift.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Okay.
So what's a special goal right now for you? Because here's what I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say, just go do this for your gift. I want to do this because you actually want to have relationship with people.
Right.
Because in my business, it's relationship.
Right. Yeah.
And I would say that's my superpower sometimes is
Awesome.
God's blessed us with great gifts.
Absolutely.
And inside of that, I like and am super intrigued with who Layton is. So I'm glad that I'm your friend. Right.
Thank you. I'm glad to be your friend too.
Thank you. We are. Yeah. I don't know what that was. But honestly, the next goal for relationship, like what's on the horizon? What do you want to do?
The goal for the channel is just to, like, once again, just make the best content I can make. And right now, the two videos that I'm working on right now, that I'm going to be shooting this Friday and Saturday, I'm going to let this audience in on a little secret. Ooh. It's called, one is getting 300 high fives in 24 hours. And so
300 high fives in 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it has to be specific to new people.
Exactly.
Okay. So you're going to run through them all.
Yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna start. Where we live. It's kind of I wouldn't say it's the middle of nowhere, but it's a good 20-30 minute drive to get into like a kind of populated area. And so that's kind of been the common reoccurring joke in the videos is like, for example, walking 8 miles to get lunch is we're like, oh, this would be fun. We have to walk. We have to go all this way. And so that's kind of been the reoccurring joke.
Where'd you go?
We walked. Do you know where the golf course is?
And Lost Creek.
Yeah. I think so. And then there's the railroad track.
Oh yeah.
Emmett, my brother, said, "Oh, I have a shortcut to get here, right?"
Oh Lord.
To get to nature.
He's a nature guy.
He's also not very good at making maps. So we said, okay,
Poor
yeah, sure,
Emmett.
let's go get some
I love
lunch.
your brother though. He's so cool.
He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And so me and my friend Isaac, were like, okay, sure, yeah, we're hungry. Let's walk. This shouldn't be too long. Emmett says, yeah, it'll take like an hour. It took us 4 hours to get there.
8 miles?
Yeah, and he didn't know where he was going. Emmett was just like, I think, let's go this way. I was like, do you know where we're going? He took us all over, and like when we were walking on the railroad tracks, Emmett goes, oh, no trespassing. And there was no way to get off the railroad at this point. And so I see this no trespassing sign. And if you've seen the video, I say I'm stressed out because the railroad is never ending. I am panicking because if someone catches us, maybe they'll be a little less patient with us as I would be patient
in the
with them.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we're kind
because
of
it's dangerous, right? It's a danger factor.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's one thing to be behind a movie theater. It's another to be in front of a train.
Yeah.
How many subscribers is like? I think I'm successful.
To me, I think it's 100,000 because that's when you get the verified check mark on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they send you a silver plaque. And I'm not sure if I can do this because I did say that about 1,000 subscribers, but I'm gonna try and get 100,000.
What would keep you? Okay, I'm gonna go into coach mode now.
Okay.
What would keep you from getting to the 100,000 or 200,000?
Depending on if the videos do well or not. That's the whole thing.
So what's the magic equation?
The magic equation to me is, I think, coming up with a good idea that makes a good title and then making a good thumbnail. It's all in those two things to get someone to click, and then, of course, making a good video.
I was going to say the content and your the heart behind it makes a big sense. I'll give you some inspiration here.
Okay.
I've got friends that get 25 likes per video, and I've got friends that get 100,000 likes per video.
Okay.
And the ones that get 100,000 never shows their face.
Really?
It's all in the content. It's all in the what solution are you finding for people that are watching it? Because I'm going to tell you, like, I love the outdoors. I like sleeping in a hammock.
Right.
I watched that entire video twice.
Okay. Awesome.
Because that resonated with who I was as my identity. Because the struggles that you go through are the same struggles I had when I was in my 20s, starting out what is it like just to go sleep in the woods?
Right. It's fun. Well,
it's fun, but
that has something to go in with the kind of come up of how the channel kind of how I got the ball rolling.
Yeah.
But anyways, like you were saying.
Yeah. Like I guess my whole point is there's an audience, sure. Mm-hmm. And there's also, I have a passion for these specific things.
Right.
And you just go all in on those very specific things.
Right.
And look, if you wanted to capture the entire country of the United States, it's impossible. You're not going to do it.
Right.
Even Mr. Beast doesn't have that.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of him yesterday with on the front of Rolling Stone and money. Did you see that?
I think I've seen that.
Yeah. It was just like, oh, I didn't know he was on Rolling Stone.
Yeah, just about everything he does is memeable, and so you'll see it anywhere. Anything he does, someone will make a joke about it. Oh, I just hit the table. Someone will make a joke about it, and so I have seen. Was it the one with like the money coming out of his ears?
It's everywhere. Like it's like he's was it Mick Scrooge or whatever? Scrooge Duck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he's just got like this entire room of money, and he's got it all over him.
Yeah, that's him for sure.
I don't see that being you. I see.
No.
I don't know what I see you as, but I do know, like, I'll tell you, you are so early in the phase, but so successful already, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm intrigued enough to pull you into a podcast, and I've only had, let's say, 6 guests, right?
Right.
And you're like top of that list. Because why? Why do I do that? So Outpaceme is set up for, because I run at a pretty heavy clip. Like I'm running pretty fast a lot. Mm-hmm. And if I see somebody that's doing something different or inspirational or good for humanity or whatever, I'm like, I'm intrigued. Okay. And if there's curiosity that triggers off in my brain, you're coming on. Like, I got to know.
Awesome.
How are you doing this? Why are you doing this? What is going on? And so the ability to, like you said, bring wholesomeness together and still be cool. You're not like an 80s rap band about Jesus.
Okay.
Those were terrible.
Right.
But I listened to them, which was awful. But today the standard has been raised. Mm-hmm. And the same for you. You're going to be able to take a lot of this content and stay true to yourself. And then you're going to speak to people younger than you. Mm-hmm. But you're also speaking to 40-year-olds that are proud of you. So all of you guys, I'm serious, like #Outpaceme. And all I need is 15. That's all I need. And we're going to count them, dude.
Okay.
And I'll be number 1. I'll do it myself. I'll put it on there.
Excellent.
And so you need 14 more.
Okay.
And if you don't get it, you don't get the prize. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know how.
Like a good challenge.
And it's a good prize.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So just a heads up. Okay. So what's in your notes? You brought notes today.
Yes. The notes I brought was just kind of if any of you have ever seen The Lord of the Rings or a Marvel movie, there's something called lore, and it's everything that has to do with what brought this story together. And I have kind of the lore written down. We've kind of gone over it, like, you know, the beginning of the cardboard suit.
Yeah.
But something I really like is in 2019, I was introduced to YouTube, so I watched a channel called More J Stew, which is now J Stew. And they just posted these ridiculous videos, and they just had fun together and just messed around all the time.
Sure.
And they would build things, and they had so much fun. I was like, that would be so much fun to do with my friends. And so I went up to my mom, and you know, I was with Isaac, who is still in the videos now and is one of my closest friends. He and I watched a YouTube video, and I was like, hey, Mom, can Isaac and I start a YouTube channel? And she said no, which makes sense. I was 12 during this time.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea.
You know, I knew nothing about making videos. I knew nothing about editing.
Sure.
She said no. She's like, you know, maybe some other time. Maybe when you're 18. That was so sad.
That's a damper.
To me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I gotta wait all these years. And then she said, okay, how about when you're 16? And let's see. Oh, so quarantine happened, and I, you know, messed with Legos all the time and built Legos and made stop motions. And so I said, Mom, can I at least have a Lego YouTube channel? She said, yes, but you can't use your name and you can't show your face. I was like, okay, fair enough. I'll make these Lego videos.
Is that where you you did like claymation too, didn't you?
I did a little bit of that whenever I was younger. I would just build, I would just make stuff.
Okay, all right, cool.
But
so you get authorization.
Right, I got the official permission.
Right.
And so I started doing like overviews of a Lego city and then stop motions, and I kind of learned what it meant to not go viral but have views and have like comments. Like my mom was scared of getting YouTube comments that were weird and stuff. So I was like, and then comments would come in and be like, great job, you're doing a good job. I'm enjoying the work you're doing. And so I kind of got to learn what that meant to have supporters. And then, of course, if you remember, I think late 2020, there was a video game called Among Us that everyone was obsessed with. Yeah. And so I made a Lego stop motion of that game. And that got, I think 3,000 views. And this is for a channel that has like 100 subscribers back then.
That's insane.
And a 12-year-old kid.
So they all just shared it amongst themselves, right?
Yeah. And it went not viral because virality is like 100,000, but it was doing well.
Yeah, for a 13-year-old, that's viral.
Yeah. And then I made another video called, I don't remember, it was 4th of July. There was a big sand pile in our front yard. So me and my friend stuck some, firecrackers all in the sand and then scattered army men everywhere and just blew it up and put it in slow motion. That video got 10,000 views.
What?
10. I think
so we just need to blow things. See, here it is with the fire and the explosions.
Yeah, exactly. I think someone likes that concept, and I have been thinking of a couple different explosion videos to make, but that's going to be way in the future when I start getting paid. By
Wait
YouTube.
A second. Mm-hmm. It's the beginning of May right now.
Right.
And we've got July 4th coming.
That's true.
And we've got a giant fireworks building that's never opened but one time a year.
True.
Right? Mm-hmm. Let's keep that in mind.
I'll have to do that. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let's get part-time jobs at the fireworks stand.
Okay.
Don't. I am not working at the fire. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know. I was going to say like, okay, cool. Explosion. Oh, let's get part-time jobs.
Well, getting jobs gets discounts for the fireworks.
That's true. That's true.
And it's a liability if it goes up in flames because then I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Well, disregard I said anything. And if that place goes up in flames, it's not my fault. I promise.
Mm-hmm. It's we're gonna sign documents now.
Okay, we'll keep it in.
Happened.
We'll just sign documents.
Of course.
Okay, so what else you got? What's step 2 there? You got like 7 pages.
Yeah, I've got a lot of pages of just like how different things kind of came to be.
Go to the last page.
The last page. Let's see. We kind of talked about this a little bit.
Well, not that one. That one's got like 2 sentences.
Yeah, it's got 2 sentences. This is let's see. Oh, these are the last few. I might want to save this for later and just kind of tell a little bit of the story. This is a part of the
Go to the story.
Journey.
Go to the story. Yeah.
Let's see. All right.
Let's go.
So
here we go, guys.
Doing iconic bricks.
Hang on.
I liked it.
Is it creepy?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's more just. Fine. It's like let's see. Oh, like the what's the song? I can't remember it now, but I always. It's by The Who. It's. Baba O'Reilly.
Yes.
That song.
Yes.
That's kind of the music that would be playing here.
Okay.
But we get copyright stricken, so.
All I have is a trombone and applause. That's
okay.
It's not going to work.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Anyways, all right,
right.
I wanted more on YouTube. I wanted to kind of, see if I could see what videos I could make with friends. And so I kind of got permission. Can I put my face on YouTube? And can I use my name? My mom's like, okay, fine. So Emmett and I made the Iconic Bricks channel, and Emmett's mad at me to this day for keeping those videos up because he and I had such high voices back then, and we're like messing with like Lego trains and stuff. But we made a channel called Iconic Outdoors. The videos are gone now, but we just kind of posted what we did back then. And so there's one video with me and these friends that. We ate spicy chips and considered that a challenge. And it's funny to someone who knows the people, but to me, looking back, to anyone else, this has got to be the dumbest video on the face of the earth.
But I'll argue, that's one of the things you have to go through.
Right.
Is realize, that's not the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Of course. And so we made those videos, and, I in secret made an account called Layton Studios, which sounds like, if you say it really fast, Layton, right?
That's on your future car?
Yeah. That could be funny. Yeah. People could find me pretty quickly, but yeah.
No, Amanda, he's not going to do that.
Yeah, we won't. But
not till you're 18.
Right, not till I'm 18, of course. But, we started... Oh, so my mom said, once you're 16, you can start an actual channel and you can start doing what you want.
Yeah.
And so I had a plan. I had a very specific plan. I'd get a job at Chick-fil-A.
Yep.
I'd make enough money to buy a camera and a computer, like a good editing computer, and then I'm going to quit my job and just completely go viral on YouTube. That's not how it worked, because a couple months go by, and my dad and I went to Colorado to meet some friends, and I made some really good friends there. And so I kind of lost having a passion for YouTube, and I just kind of enjoyed being around people a little bit more. Okay. And so I spent more time doing that and just talking with people. And between that, I watched the Lord of the Rings series and the Hobbit series, and that got me into camping and like going outside and hiking and stuff. And so I got very interested in that. And
by the way, Emmett, your brother, is probably the biggest outdoorsman there is.
He can go fishing, and he's more dirt bikey, but don't trust him with a fire. He doesn't know how they work.
So he's not going to be in control of the fireworks stand.
No.
Okay,
no.
We're back to that again.
He doesn't understand how the fire works, and so I'm usually he'll ask me to come help him make a fire. He'll be like, Layton, I need you to come help me and my friends. I was like, nope, you can do it. You'll learn. So
that's awesome. Okay, so Eye of the Lore, or what is it? Lore.
The lore of the channel and the Lord of the Rings. So I watched all that, and in between that stage, getting back from Colorado, Emmett's friend came over, and he was a big fan. He for some reason, one could call him a fanboy, and I had like this channel didn't even exist, and he liked Iconic Bricks, and he liked Iconic Outdoors, and you could consider him a fanboy during this time, because he's like, Layton, I want to make a video with you. Let's do this. This would be so fun, so fun. We made a skit called Oof, where we fell. We just fell and hit the ground and said, ow. And we
not even oof.
No, yeah, not even oof. It's clickbait. So
that's hilarious.
We posted that video on Layton Studios, and then my dad looked at it and he's like, this is kind of weird. And the video's gone now. But he was just kind of like, this is a little weird. This is strange. I was like, yeah, I think it is. And so we took it down. The channel goes still again. And I'm super bored during this time. Oh, I broke my arm. That's why I was so bored. I had a little accident on a bike or something. And so I broke my arm and I was bored. Sitting in my room, I decided to pick up the camera. I had this camera, but it wasn't compatible with our MacBooks for some reason. I have no idea why this didn't work with the computers. But
Apple hates Sony. I don't know.
That could be why. But anyways, I picked up I picked up my phone and filmed a video called How to Make a Hobo Bindle. Like, in the movies where you have the stick.
You tie it on them.
Yeah. Exactly. And so I made that video, and I went to my mom and was like, hey, I like this video. Can I post it? And she's like, fine, whatever, go for it. Posted it. The video got a whopping 2 views.
One from Grandma.
Channel. Yeah, exactly. Well, one of my friends looked at it, and she left all these comments. She thought she was so funny and be like, this is the weirdest channel I've ever seen. I was like, whatever. And
that's hilarious.
And so I got into I bought a tactical messenger bag, like some surplus stuff. Okay. And so I would review that, and I would review backpacks, and I made a shelter, like a bushcraft shelter, and spent the night in it, which to this day, that video still kind of holds up, which is funny. Like, I managed to make the pacing really well on iMovie, which doesn't have any effects or voiceovers or anything. It's just like, today I'm doing this. Here's how I built it. Kind of like time lapse, quick building it, couple tips, and then we're sleeping in it, and like building fire and stuff. So, and it's funny looking back because Emmett just talks and talks and talks, especially when the camera's running. And those back then, it's funny because you hear him say random things, you hear me say random things. It's funny to look back on. And of course, we're inserting like how I discovered impact props and being sick. And so started making the Phantom videos, and, that's what I named the suit, which is funny. And then I went to Camp Blue Haven for the first time, and, had a couple weeks off. I didn't post much that summer unless I did, if you kind of know what I mean. It would just be like, I would just post whenever I wanted to, and it would be the most random things. And then that channel I told you about, Jay Stu, one of their crew members was leaving. And so I had about 100 subscribers during this time, and I decided to make a tribute video to him. and
No
kind of
kidding.
like post like clips of him and
Sure.
just be like, oh, thanks for being on this channel. Thanks for being on the channel. Cause like my cousins liked watching him and we all liked watching his videos. And so I made like a tribute to him. That video now has almost 100,000 views. It is almost up there. And I am
Did you ever get his comments on it?
Yeah, he commented and their editor commented, which was crazy. But I'm mad that video is doing so well, and it's kind of half the reason I'm monetized on YouTube. And I think I want to take it down just whenever I have like stable income from YouTube.
Why?
Just because I don't know, it doesn't serve the build up of what the channel was becoming.
So, time out. Let's talk about that for a second, because I'm struggling with that myself on my channel. Is do I categorize?
Okay.
Do I say this is the fun stuff?
Right.
This is the personal stuff. Is it better to do it that way? Why can't you just put it into a category and leave it alone?
Yeah. Well, the thing was, basically anything I keep up on the channel, it has to be me making a video, right? This video, my face wasn't even on it. It was not exclusive to the Layton Studios brand,
I see.
So
I see.
if people watched that video alone, they could see Layton Studios and be like, oh, he just makes fan
You know
videos,
what? What about this? And dude, you can totally check me on this. A category of these are the clips that I learned from.
Yeah,
And
I could do that. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I know that's not the focus now, but just a heads up, I want to be transparent for everything that I do.
Right.
And this happened to be one of my projects I worked on.
Right. Yeah. I'll probably, I have to keep it up now because I took it down for a while and my views dropped really quickly. There's something called watch hours.
Yeah.
It was at a stable 2,000 out of 4,000. I'm pretty close to 4,000 right now, but it dropped and went to like 800.
Okay. So, oh wow. I didn't realize it was that close. So you get paid now?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm close. I just have to post more videos.
What's the threshold?
4,000. I have to get 4,000 watch hours and I have to get 1,000 subscribers. I've already done that. So I had to get 1,000 subscribers. I had to have 4,000 watch hours.
It's one thing about my guests that I love watching the commonalities between guests
Okay.
that I pick.
That's funny.
And the extensive passion on specific projects. Like I had a guy that's a huge investor turned agent.
Okay.
And then I've got a broker that has the heart of gold and loves to help people. And then there's people coming up soon that are just really good at what they do.
Okay.
But they all have one thing in common.
What's that?
Curiosity.
Okay.
Like constant curiosity. And
Trying
then
to learn and stuff.
and then they like go all in.
Right.
There's not an off button.
Right.
And here you are with 7 pages of notes for a podcast.
I woke up this morning. I was like, oh, I kind of planned it out. Like there's shower thoughts, there are running thoughts. And so I'll be jogging or I'll be, taking care of a chore. And I'm kind of writing down in my head, okay, this is what I'm going to say. And this is how I'm going to kind of tell the story. And so then I put it all on paper. And that's what I do with making YouTube videos. If I have an idea, there goes Layton. Layton's gone. Layton's in his head, and he's planning and he's thinking about how he can make this video or how he can write this story. Like,
what happens in your head when you're like, where do you get your most inspiration?
when I get inspiration, sometimes a friend will tell me, but most of the time, suddenly, sometimes I watch a movie or a video or something.
Okay.
And there it is. It's in my head. It's put in a file. If you're imagining lots of different Laytons inside my head, they have all these ideas.
Okay.
But if I decide to take that idea out, and for example, if I'm homeschooled, and so we'll be trying to learn something in class, and if I get one idea, and this is kind of why I wasn't so good in public school.
Sure.
Because if I had an idea, I went into my head and I didn't care about anything
Turn
else.
everything off.
Exactly. And so I would just start thinking of like even in third grade, I had all these like stories told in my head, and I just came up with them exclusively.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah, we would camp at Dinosaur Valley or whatever his family's.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you as a kid, you loved that story stuff.
Yeah. I remember Kai and I would go on walks and we came up with ideas because Marvel Studios was so popular.
Oh, yeah.
And we were kind of coming up with our own cinematic universe. It's funny that you bring that up. But
You should see those pictures, by the way. They're hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah, I'll have to check those.
That's so good. Yeah. Little baby Layton and you and Ella. Oh my gosh. Anyways, When's the last time you talked to Ella?
I'd say, well, like over text messages.
Okay,
like,
yeah. I'm saying like face to face.
Last time I've seen her face to face was whenever I saw you when you were driving that one time when we were
She's
walking.
taller than me.
Okay.
Well, actually, both of them are now. It's not hard to do. Christy and I are short people. You know who should have their own podcast? Your mom.
That would be something.
Am I wrong?
No, I'm sure. Yeah,
like you got this. You got this. Honestly, dude.
Yeah.
Your dad's handsome looks and your mom's wit. I'm just kidding. You know I'm kidding. Right?
Yeah, that would be funny. Yeah, to see them both. Yeah.
Why would it be so awesome to see your mom in this space?
I don't know.
You get it though?
I do understand what you mean. Yeah, she's quick-witted, which is really funny, and she's passionate for a lot of things. She's passionate for like government stuff, and she's passionate for. We raised a squirrel one time.
Oh yeah,
and she could talk on and on about raising.
Okay, I don't want to bring this up if it's like you're emotional about it, but dude, your squirrel is like famous in the neighborhood.
That's funny.
Remember
really?
Did you see the video where somebody was like, look, this squirrel won't leave, and they were trying to feed it and it would just hang out with them?
And it would crawl up their arm, or is this a different video?
It's the one that was underneath the table and they're like filming it on Facebook.
Okay, I know what you're talking about, because that's when that's why we started searching in this area. Right. Which is funny. Yeah.
So you guys hand raised a squirrel and
he was tiny, like a little jelly bean.
Well, that jelly bean decided it needed a natural life, I guess, at some point.
I guess so.
He wanted a family.
So. I'm not. Yeah, that could be why. We have no idea really.
He just
his motivations. He could have run off for food. He's a glutton. Everything I've learned, he could have gone to find food and just kind of slowly adapted. But yeah, she could definitely talk on and on and on about that. So yeah, that would definitely be pretty funny.
How's Twix?
Twix, he's good.
Good. I love that dog.
He's a turd sometimes.
He is, but I call him Snickerdoodle. I don't know why. That's what I call him.
Yeah, he's always running off and doing Lord knows what sometimes, and it sure does get on my nerves because I have to chase after him and go get him when he's walked 2 miles.
He's kind of like you. He's very determined in what he's doing.
Okay, that's funny. Yeah, I've heard he and I are similar. It's funny. He in a way he's bipolar because he's pretty well mannered.
I was gonna say you're not bipolar.
No. Yeah, no. I understand what you mean though.
Yeah.
But he's super well mannered at times, and then sometimes he just runs off, and he's very. Like, he's polite, he's well-mannered, he's quiet, and then sometimes he's barking like crazy at the doorbell and like spinning around, sneezing a bunch, and just being like super active.
A dog?
And wild. Yeah, he's being a dog. There you go.
Right.
He's not bipolar, he's just a dog.
Well, then we have 3 bipolar dogs, if that's the case.
Yeah, the bipolar, yeah.
Actually, kind of, yeah. Some are good, some are bad.
Yeah, we're up to 3 now, too.
Are you really?
Yeah, we got Twix, Mabel, and Sadie. I don't know what kind of breed Sadie is, but she's a dog, and she's small, and she barks a lot. So,
oh no.
Yeah, but it's fun watching them all mesh together.
So cool. Well, let me ask you about future stuff now.
Okay.
We've talked about past. We know what you're doing right now, and the standard of where you want it. What happens next? What do you want to do?
Let's see.
Let's say you're 16 now.
16 now, yeah.
So in 4 years, you're gonna be 20 years old.
That's insane,
bro. That's making me feel really old. So you're 16 now, and you've got 4 solid years of progressing in whether it be props or acting.
Right.
Because I heard that you said something about acting earlier.
Yeah.
I think it's such a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
Like you've got it all covered, like from shooting it, producing it, acting in it,
right,
presenting it. I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah, the plan is to have just enough money so I can move out and support myself. And if I want to get married and start a family, the goal is to have enough money to be able to do that whilst having, a decent house and, financial stability and getting to travel. And
I hope my kids are watching this.
Take some notes. Some Layton Studios lessons.
That's right.
But yeah, the plan is, just to be able, and then have enough money, of course, to keep making videos and stuff like that. And that's, that's the long run. But right now is just to get to film like travel videos. Like if I need to go somewhere, and if I need to have enough money to be able to afford to do that, and
a backpack, bro.
That's true. That's true.
And a quilt for your hammock.
Of course, yeah. I do a fair amount of walking. I'm not sure if I'd walk everywhere I need to go, but yeah.
Walk to your lunch and 8 miles away.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting. All right, let me ask you a really cool question.
Okay.
To me, it's cool, not you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you'll ever work for anybody?
That's a good question, because sometimes I work really well with some people and sometimes I don't, because this is something about me. This is partially why, one of the reasons why I argued so much to be homeschooled, is because I hated going into that school every single day and like not
That shall
being able
remain nameless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I would just go, and I hated it so much. I wanted to leave, because sometimes, some teachers are jerks and they're not, they don't put back into what I put in, And sometimes if I'm being as nice and friendly as I can, and that person isn't like almost acting barely tolerant to me, that is one of the things where I'm like, I don't really care anymore, and I just kind of want to leave that space. So, like, for example, I was in band, and I never liked the way that worked. I've always been more of like a self-employed person, and of course I listen to people's rules and stuff, and of course all that stuff. But I don't think I would see myself working for someone else unless it was like for a director in a movie or something. But
that's really encouraging, man, because I would say, talk with your parents about this. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I mean, it brightens my soul to see people in the entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay, thank you.
I like the idea of you creating the space that can monetize, but also provide either solution or, just aid in people's happiness.
Exactly.
And I don't know, there's something special about finding your own way and not following the collegiate. Again, I'm going to be careful here. Mm-hmm. It's important to get education. It's important to have a knowledge base. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I mean, you traveling a path that's, a lot less people have traveled. Mm-hmm. It's harder.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's huge reward in that.
Exactly. Yeah. Finding something that you're passionate for and just working at it is something that I think is so important, because nowadays, especially in today's environment, you have school, and then, like, for example, the standard of our town, and I'm sure lots of other towns, is, you play sports, you do something to serve the town. And I never liked doing that, I'm an athletic person, but I never liked doing the sports stuff,
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, the camera's still running. Just
it's I want to make sure.
I do that too. I'll be talking to the camera and just suddenly I have to check.
I apologize. No, I didn't mean to interrupt us.
No worries. No worries.
I had this bad camera once. I got from. If you ever buy cameras and go to Amazon and you're like, oh, that one's been returned. That one's cheaper.
Okay.
Bad idea.
Yeah.
Bad idea. I mean, even though you may save $200.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it.
Yeah. Right now I'm working to get the not the Panasonic. I'm looking to get the Canon EOS M50 Mark II. And
M50
it's a
Mark
good,
II.
decent, small.
How much do those run these days?
That one is $700, and I'm $500 in, so I'm just $200 to go. So the plan is to make that money before I go to. We're going to Garner State Park, if you know where that is, in the hill country of Texas.
You guys own that?
Yeah, I wish, but no, I
It'd
need
be
to
like
make
Daniels State Park, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
When is that?
That should be May 14th. So I'm trying to make just enough money to, accumulate. And then before that, me and my friend Alex and his brother are hoping to make a trip to an island.
May 14th. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No worries.
You're going to make $200 in...
That's the plan.
All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know what your surprise is?
Sure. Let's hear it.
If I can get 14 Outpaceme on your deal, I'll cover the rest of your camera.
Nice.
You good with that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
High five.
All right. It's a deal.
All right. And I don't care who it is.
All right.
You've got to have 14 friends, bro.
Yeah, I can get 14 people to go comment.
I want to see you in your new camera. I want to see the content.
That'd be awesome.
And then you going absolutely bonkers in Garner State Park.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I'm ecstatic that you're here, and thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
Well, man, this is how this works.
Okay.
This isn't going anywhere. I'm committed to it. And if anybody knows me, I commit to something, I don't stop.
Exactly.
And
that's what I do too.
That's why you're here.
Exactly.
So my hopes and dreams are that you get okay, so here's the rules again. For anybody that's lasted this long in this podcast, here it is. You've got to subscribe to Layton Studios, and you've got to hashtag Outpaceme inside that space, and just say how much you enjoyed Layton being himself and what a great inspiration he is for not only younger, but people in general. Dude, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
And just to put things in perspective, you guys, thanks for watching Outpaceme. And if you can't hear me, I'm sorry, but I would love for you to subscribe to ours as well.
Subscribe right now. Do it.
Do it. You guys take care.
Do it, or he will spend 50 hours in Halo Armor 2.
Take care, guys.
Adios.
Peace out. How about
Bye.
that for clickbait right there?
That's awesome.